Hello, this video will share information for our Masters of Arts in Teaching mentors that work with our MAT Option 6 candidates. Now, not every MAT Masters of Arts in Teaching candidate gets a mentor. Only the ones that are teaching under Option 6 will be getting those. We do have several resources hyperlinked to a resource document. Every slide as we go through this video that you see one of these clipboards like this, it means that something that we're talking about on that slide is also hyperlinked on that resource document. So when we sent you the video, we sent you a resource document as well. And one of the main things that's on that document are the general expectations for an MAT mentor. And you can see, I'm not going to open those here, but you can open those as you have time to preview those. But they go over in a smaller scale everything that we're going to go over in this video. One of the things that I think is sometimes hard to remember is that we're only doing 5 hours per school year, not 5 hours per semester. I wish we had the funding and the resources to do 5 hours per semester, but we do not. So it is 5 hours per school year that you would be working with these MAT candidates. That's approximately 2.5 hours per semester, the fall and the spring. If someone is hired maybe late and maybe they're only hired during the spring semester, then you'll work with just about 2.5, 3 hours with them that semester, and we'll work on those on a case-by-case basis. But most MATs will have a total of 5 hours by the university. The good news is that the school district also provides a mentor, and that mentor does work with that candidate for up to 10, at least a minimum of 10 hours per school year. You can also, we're asking you to go to visit them in the school at least 2 times per semester, if we're able to do that. Sometimes geographically, we don't have a mentor close enough to travel to the school. We may do virtual, where the MAT candidate will send you some video of them teaching and you'll watch those at home. But most of these we try to do in person if at all possible. That extra hour, so there's approximately 4 hours there, 2 hours each semester for a 1 hour visit twice each semester. Then you can do phone calls, Zoom sessions, emails, that kind of thing. You can track up to an hour of that to get that total of 5 hours of mentoring. We do also provide mileage, so over and above these 5 hours. So the MAT mentors are really coaches. They are not meant to be evaluators. So some of our MAT mentors also supervise our student teachers. That is a more evaluating role than it is a coaching. So we just want to remind everyone that if you're working with an MAT mentor, you're not grading them. We have instructors here at the university that they're in classes that they get grades for. They're not getting grades for this, what you're doing with them. There's no official scoring. So all their evaluations and those things will be conducted by the school leadership or possibly by a WKU instructor in a class, might be doing some grading that way. You're going to be offering support. That's the most important thing you're going to be giving them is real intentional feedback. We want you to definitely find some positive ways that they're succeeding, but also really be working with them on areas of improvement. We also don't share this feedback that you give them, the written feedback that you give them with school leadership. If the MAT candidate wishes to share those written notes, they can, but we're just there to support and coach. So we're not there to report to a school leadership in any written format or evaluative format. The Kentucky Framework for Teaching rubric that we use, it's the same thing that their schools are using to evaluate them. You will be able to use that, and we want you, it's hyperlinked on our resource document. And it's important that you become very familiar with it if you haven't looked at it in a while. Domains 2 and 3 usually are the ones that we offer feedback on because you're there observing them and you're giving them different feedback about classroom management and instruction. That's usually the area they're most needing help with when you visit. However, that doesn't mean that domains 1 and 4, they won't ask for assistance with. We're hoping that the district is doing a lot of mentoring in that, because we won't be seeing them enough to offer enough help with that. But, you know, lesson planning, preparation, that kind of thing goes with domain 1. Their professional responsibilities are more of domain 4 on the framework. Again, you know, they might ask you for some assistance, and you can always offer that as well. The feedback that you give, you're going to be dropping it into a Google folder. So we do want you to do some sort of written notes each time you do a formal visit. So those notes, we want to make sure you send a copy to the student as well, the MAT candidate, because the MAT candidate does not have access to the Google folder that we're asking you to share them in. We are just using that with our WKU instructors. So we don't have that open for everybody. It's just you and our office and our instructors. So you should definitely make sure that some notes are given to the candidate after each visit. Even if you have a visit with them where you talk about the things, I think intentional written notes are very important to help that candidate go back and reflect on, and to go back and look at again and again. So please make that a standard habit of leaving those with them or emailing them to them later. There is no, we're not saying you have to do it in type them up. We're okay with handwritten notes being put in the Google folder or whatever. We just need documentation of what your kind of feedback you're providing to that candidate. When you and the MAT candidate work out a plan to visit the school, please include the principal in the email. We have provided a principal email to you for when we gave you a list of who you're mentoring this year. And it's real important that the principal knows when you're coming to the school. If at all possible, I know it's hard to track down a principal or some school leadership, assistant principal, maybe a curriculum coordinator or an instructional coach that they might provide to you to say this is somebody that knows a lot about this MAT candidate. It's, if possible, if you can touch base with somebody when you're there, it's always good to hear if things are going well, or if they want Western to know anything, or, you know, that kind of thing. But that isn't always possible. We understand. If there are red flags, if you are concerned about something that you're seeing that's a major area that you think the school leadership needs to know, or the school leadership shares something with you, you can definitely let us know, and we will have one of our instructors that's teaching them this semester maybe review the situation, look at some of the feedback you've given, and we'll try to find ways to intervene and offer as much support as we can besides what you're doing. We want our candidates to be successful, and, you know, unless we know there's a problem, it's hard for us to know to intervene. There is a mentor timesheet log, and that's on that resource document. In the past, we've let some of our mentors just create their own. We would like everyone to start using this one. You'll provide that to our office at the end of the school year, and that is what we will use to help pay you. So please make sure you turn that in. There's also a travel form that you can turn in mid-semester if you need to, or even quarterly if you know, because we know mileage adds up. We will pay that mileage, and there's some specific directions. Some of the highlights are written here on this slide, but there's clear directions hyperlinked to that resource page. And it will be important that you follow those. I know that Miss White, who manages that, has some certain codes and things that she has to do. So she's giving you some clear directions. If you also supervise student teachers, there's a different code you'll see down here. If you put them together, you'll need to make sure that you specify that you're MAT mentoring in that code. So if you have questions about that, you can look at that resource page that she's linked there. I think it's pretty clear. If not, she'll help you. 100-day form, that's only if you're a retiree in the KTRS system. We are provided at Western to provide those. And excuse me, and the final travel voucher that you turn in at the end of the year, the last semester, can't be processed unless we've turned in a WKU to WKU, the 100-day form. So there's clear directions again for that on the resource page. New this fall, we're asking all of our MAT mentors to use a WKU email address, and we have one for each of you. It has already been created, and it's available to you, and there are clear directions on how to do that down here on this resource page. You can still provide a cell number and text and use other ways to communicate with your MAT if you want, but when you are communicating with the MAT mentor, we want you to add the principal, and we want the principal and the MAT mentor to see an email that is a WKU email. So we'll need to start using that, please. And then we ask you to wear your supervisor name badge whenever you visit the school. We have a specific WKU one that we will make for you. If you haven't received yours yet, or some reason you've lost it, please reach out, let us know ASAP. We need you to wear that, please. Also, we have this has nothing to do with MAT mentoring other than us to gather some more data that we're trying to collect about all of our mentors. If you'll take a few minutes to complete a short survey that is on that resource page, that really helps us. If we don't fill it out, we'll be reaching out to you in the coming months. So if you fill it out, that'll save a little time for both of us. I want to thank you for all you do as an MAT mentor. We know that some of you also supervise student teaching, so you're doing a great service to grow our teaching profession, and we just really appreciate all that you're doing to help us grow for our communities in this teacher shortage area. So thank you for being a coach and a mentor, and we really wish you the best. Don't hesitate to reach out to our office if you need us. Thank you.